baby. Yeah, baby. Marcus Conte reporting. Los Bichos. What a great name, man. Los Bichos. Love it, man. It's good music, man. They're, I guess, 5 chicks from London. And, 5 tattoo chicks from London. What's up, Vinny? Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. I know it's early, and we're getting a little head fake right here. It's really 11. It's 11 a.m. in New York, but it's really 10 a.m. I get you, man. So, like, people are not even up yet. Hey, man, you know, life is short, man. It's whoever gets up first catches the biggest worm. Right? It's like, well, you have the most productive day because you started early, right? Yes. The trolls are already here. Let him speak, Vinny. Let him speak, man. Let him speak. It's good for business. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Be a little bit of a hodgepodge of stuff today. Just think, hey, listen, man. We're just gonna keep following this election, man, because the Democratic Party, it's making me depressed, really. I'll be honest with you. I'm suffering from a little bit of situational depression, I guess. Right? Like where you know that your country is spiraling downward. You have this evidence on the table that suggests that what people think they're engaging in, which is an election, is really not an election at all. It's a selection process. It is the foundation of a free and fair democracy to have open elections. Most countries have paper ballots, where the public sees the count and can count along because it's paper, hand counted paper ballots. But in our country, we have these mysterious boxes where you walk up and you push a button and you hope that your vote is counted, that your democracy is being steered by the will of the people through their vote. But then you discover that it's all just a sham. It's a ripoff. It's not about party or contender. Who's running and who's not running. It's about the fabric, the essence, the foundation of democracy and free and fair elections, because without the free and fair election, without the voice of the people being expressed through the election, you have, oligarchy, dictatorship, authoritarianism. So anybody who cheers that Bernie Sanders is getting screwed, he bowed his knee to the Clintons and look, they fucked his ass. Those things may be true. Bernie Sanders is clearly not a perfect vessel. I don't think anybody is a perfect vessel. But to cheer on Trump, even Trump has the testicles and the tenacity, the genius to at least call out the election rigging that's going on right now. We have evidence, real solid numerical evidence that suggests that our elections are rigged, and it's 2000. In this year 2020, we have rigged elections. What the hell is going on, man? So try to talk me down. So we'll start here. My cousin, not Vinny, but my cousin Giuseppe Conte. He's the Prime Minister of Italy, and the Italian leaders just locked down Venice and Milan over the coronavirus spread. You heard about this? It's Giuseppe Conte. Giuseppe, my long-lost cousin Giuseppe Conte. Italy's Prime Minister on Sunday ordered the complete lockdown of some 16 million people. Wow. Italy on lockdown. Boy, the markets are going to love this on Monday. Talking about tourism going down the shitter. 16 million people in the country's coronavirus plagued north. Wow, including the cities Venice and Milan, in a draconian health measure expected to be approved by legislators later in the day. Wow. Let's see if they can hold back 16 million Italians. The quarantine order by Giuseppe Conte affects 10 million living in the Lombardy region and another 6 million living in 14 provinces. It bars anyone from entering or leaving except for undeferrable work needs, undeferrable work needs or emergency situations. Everybody in Italy is going to suddenly have a emergency. Watch. Anyone breaking the quarantine will face 3 months in jail. That's a threat. How are you going to put 14, 16 million people in jail? Nonetheless, it's spreading and deserves our attention. Cinema and the notion that Italy is doing a massive quarantine is probably going to affect other European countries going forward. Cinemas, theaters, dance schools, bingo halls, and pubs will also be closed, but restaurants will stay open if they can provide seating that keeps a distance of 1 meter between customers. Wow. 1 meter? That's 3 feet. I heard it was actually 6 feet. But you have to stay 6 feet away from somebody. We'll find out. The measure set to take effect immediately would paralyze Italy's industrial north, dealing a great financial blow to Europe's third largest economy. The measure was due for a vote as Italy logged at least 5,883 infected patients and 233 deaths. Wow, I didn't know Italy got hit that hard. 5,800 infected patients, 233 deaths in Italy. Only 2 countries have been hit harder. Mainland China, 80,000 infected, 3,000 deaths. And South Korea, 7,000 infected, 50,000 deaths. Again, I speculate that the number of deaths in China is way higher. So don't go to Italy. My cousin Giuseppe. It's not my cousin Vinny. My cousin Vinny's on the board here. What's up, man? What's up? Number one of my best bros is a Conte. Yeah, man. This guy's. I imagine it's the same spelling of the name. My name actually, Conte, Conte, actually tracks back to France. There's like 86% of the Contes are from France, so it's likely at some point my great grandparents jumped ship from France and landed in Italy somehow. But nonetheless, one of them is the prime minister now, Giuseppe Conte. Good afternoon, good morning in the chat. Vinny DiMartini on the moderation. Don't be a dick. Don't be a dick, and you won't get chopped up. Don't come a trolling, man. Don't come a trolling, and don't diss the wrench because then you get dissed. So anyway, man. Let's be nice. Let's be nice. We're just talking, man. We're just talking. We're just chilling. We're chilling like Bob Dylan over here, right? So here's a little clip. I don't have much of a coherent message because I was out late last night. But here's some clips. Here's some. Let's look mostly Joe Biden gaffes. The Democrats are about to Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. The message today. I think that was my title. That Joe Biden is Hillary Clinton with a penis. That's what she is. That's what he is. That's what they are. They're both the same. And they're both destined to lose to Donald Trump. But that's how the Democrats feel right now. They'd rather lose to Trump than win with Bernie. So they could keep their jobs and keep the status quo going. Keep all of the military-industrial complexes and all the vast economic complexes in place. The prison-industrial complex. Healthcare, fuck you. Jails, empty the jails, fuck you. That's where we're at right now. Right? So that's all we got to talk about. What do you want to talk about? We're talking about, again, the cheating. We had a shot. America, the United States of America, had a shot at true power to the people, deflating the oligarchs and the billionaire class, where one person, two people, five people have $100 billion more money than they can, they can fill up 10 houses with the cash they have. It's obscene when people are living out in the street. People are willing to take a bullet by joining the military, willing to take a bullet for education. To join the military and get an education afterwards. This shit is crazy and dope. That's the kind of place we're living in right now. It's savage. Where and it's just the way it is. You could say, oh, it's Darwin, survival of the fittest. Let the weak die out, but the weak is 99% of the people. And 99% of the people stood up, who would win? How does 1% defend itself from the 99? It can't. It's an illusion. It's the illusion of power that keeps the system in place. Fear. If I fight back, then I'll lose the crumbs that I have. What will I do without my crumbs? I don't want to risk my crumbs to get the full loaf of bread. I'll just stick with the crumbs, man. Shut the hell up, man. Status quo's fine. Trump is amazing. Trump is doing an amazing job. My crumbs never tasted so good. I love my crumbs. How come you don't love your crumbs? Why do you need more? Why do you need a whole loaf of bread when you've got crumbs and fellow people eating those crumbs? Let's watch a video.
Just throw up your arms and go for it. And then there are hugs that keep going and going and going. Joe Biden wouldn't let Hillary go as they met on the tarmac at school.
This is a groper video. This is Joe Biden groping Hillary Clinton. How disgusting. They're the same, man. Joe Biden, gaffe king, senile, groper.
Branton Airport. About 4 seconds into the hug, they semi-disengage. Nothing to see here, right? Wrong, because the vice president wouldn't unhand Hillary for almost 16 seconds.
Notice how many times she tries to tap out. She lets it go. He does not. She tap out. Nope, she's just, no, he's still holding on. Okay, second tap out. For God's sake, Joe, you got to let go.
This latest awkward hug would not have been microanalyzed if it hadn't been for all the other overly handy Biden moments. Critics collect them. Times when he gently rearranges a young girl's hair and whispers in her ear, then rearranges some more. There's nothing pervy here. The VP knows he's on camera at these swearing-in ceremonies, and the parents are right there as he leans in for a kiss.
It's despicable, disgusting.
The VP
Creep.
is known as a close talker. He even does it to the president. Perhaps his most famous hands-on moment came when he put his hands on the wife of Defense Secretary Ash Carter.
I've got a lot of thanks to give out.
Conservatives panned it.
This is the creepiest thing.
And so did some liberals.
No, that ain't right, man. That ain't right. Why are you appeared to smell her hair?
At least the VP didn't get that close to Hillary. Now, Hillary and President Obama have come a long way in their history of hugging. From this paltry excuse for a hug 8 years ago after he defeated her.
Anyway, this is the Democrats. This is who they're pushing forward, man. Creepy Joe Biden, man. Here he is with some. This is not just a slander of Biden. This is just we're reviewing the tape to see who this man is, right? Joe Biden, seemed to have some sense about him, some brain power left throughout the Obama era. There's not much. He was a gaffe king, but there's a difference between a gaffe and being, overly senile. That's what we're seeing right now. We're seeing senility. And here's Joe Biden. Here he is, man. This is who the Democrats have confidence can beat the Trumpster, man. The master comedian. Could you imagine? Look, I'm not saying that Sanders has no chance of winning. If there is Biden can drop out. Biden can die. Biden could just say the stupidest thing, and because he's senile, he could grab a child's ass on TV or something egregious that is almost certain to happen with senile people could happen, and then Bernie would get, he would arguably be the default candidate. But there is that speculation that the Democrats will pick a shit sandwich again, Hillary Clinton, in a contested convention. But nonetheless, that's neither here nor there. This is here right now. This fucking guy right here. This guy right here is here right now.
I have the national firefighters. What I even, I ponder though is the incredible enthusiasm and excitement this campaign has generated, folks. A lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama Democrat. We're going to bring together Americans of every race, ethnicity.
Biden-Bama. He meant to say Obama Biden. What an idiot.
Gender, economic station, Democrats. If you think big enough and bold enough to build the future of this nation, that one that it deserves. We can do this by building on Obamacare and standing up and beating the NRA and gun manufacturers straight up, increasing exponentially the prospects of their success. I have the national firefighters. What I even,
This is all in one speech. Allegedly, this is Joe Biden at his St. Louis rally earlier today. He spoke for less than 10 minutes, and these are just some of the verbal errors he made. This is not a stutter. This is serious. No shit.
I ponder though is the incredible enthusiasm and excitement this campaign has generated, folks. A lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama Democrat. We're going to bring together Americans of every race, ethnicity, gender, economic station, Democrats. If you think big enough and bold enough to build the future of this nation, that one that it deserves. We can do this by building on Obamacare and standing up and beating the NRA and gun manufacturers straight up, increasing exponentially the prospects of their success. I have the national firefighters. What I even.
It's just so pathetic. I mean, again, you could take anybody who speaks all day long and records themselves and is a public speaker, and sew together, take hours of smart things they say and sew together the dumbest 2 or 3 minutes or 30 seconds of what they said. They used to do it with George Bush all the time. They do it with Trump. And say, oh, look, see how stupid he is. But this guy, again, he's a different. It's a different cart. It's a different shopping cart. This guy is loaded with stuff. Here's an interesting clip. Obama. This could be definitely used for Bernie Sanders if those folks are paying attention. Could use this plug. Here's Obama, president at the time, plugging Bernie Sanders as the only populist in the race. Now, there's a couple of Bernie Sanders' crowd already. The team already went with a wonderful clip where Obama's plugging Bernie Sanders and his ideas. But here's another one. Check this out.
So I would just advise everybody be careful about suddenly attributing to whoever pops up at a time of economic anxiety the label that they're populists. Where have they been? Have they been on the front lines working on behalf of working people? Have they been carrying the laboring oar to open up opportunity for more people? Now, there are people like Bernie Sanders who I think genuinely deserve the title because he has been in the vineyards fighting on behalf of these issues.
So that's
Thank you, Kyle Kalinske. I stole that clip from Kyle. But there you have it. There's Obama saying Bernie Sanders is the true populist. He's been on the front lines the whole time. Yesterday I played you a clip with Biden saying the same thing, that Bernie Sanders is the most authentic of all of the politicians in the game. Right? You can't make this up, man. And now, Bernie Sanders has got to take the gloves off at some point, and not even the gloves, but how about a couple of ball kicks, right? Obama's in Bernie's court too. Democrats hunt for Trump slayer may lead to Hillary Clinton comeback. H.A. Goodman loves this shit, man. Look at her. Oh, fucking Mrs. the Golden Moo. I got H.A. Goodman's clip. The gift that keeps giving. Now that the once sprawling field of Democrats seeking the presidency has become a two-man race, many in the party are breathing a sigh of relief. All the more so because Joe Biden is the clear frontrunner and the dreaded Bernie Sanders looks to be fading. So it's all set. Biden will be the nominee and give the party a solid chance of scoring a November trifecta, beating President Trump, taking the Senate, and holding the House. Count me as skeptical. This guy's a jack-off anyway, this Goodwin. Is that his name? Goodwin? Count me as skeptical instead of a smooth ride. It's more likely that the Dems' desperate search for a Trump slayer will hit more turbulence, and an alternative to Biden still could be necessary. Guess what? One just happened to be waiting in the wings, hoping for an invitation. Before you laugh at the prospect of a Hillary Clinton comeback, consider the two weird twists and turns of Biden's campaign. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but it is interesting where they are now. It's not like Hillary Clinton said, is not putting herself out in the limelight now. She's got a Hulu special that just hit the airwaves. She's out on Hulu bashing everybody and showing herself. It is possible. It's a 100% loss. There's no way that she beats Trump. But it is interesting that the Post has put out a opinion piece, suggesting that Trump's the real Trump slayer is still Hillary Clinton. Here's H.A. Goodman getting a hard on over this particular article. Listen, watch him. He's so happy. Watch how happy.
Ladies and gentlemen, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, from political defeat comes victory. Well, momentary victory. Trump will win again, but people will be begging for the great, all-knowing, talented, beautiful, amazing, godly Madam Secretary. They will be begging. Have you seen the Hulu documentary? My God. If that doesn't change your mind about Madam Secretary, you have no soul.
Do you think that H.A. Goodman secretly loves Hillary Clinton? The obsession is incredible, right? He spends every clip. Now, it could be, there's a political calculation there that if he's right, he was right the whole time, that Hillary Clinton will be parachuted into the DNC and given the nomination. But there's the other thing is that the point that the New York Post just made and H.A. Goodman has been making all along is that people have forgotten just how corrupt Hillary Clinton is and was. Not everybody, but a lot of people will never believed it in the first place. And a lot of that rhetoric has faded. And the fact that she hasn't campaigned in a primary means that nobody has laid a glove on her. So for her to walk in and say, I got 60 million votes the last time, but, I'll carry the party. If Joe Biden drops dead, or nobody gets to a plurality if they want to go that way, if they want to cheat it where Bernie and Biden don't get a plurality, and then they try to vote in Hillary Clinton, and she comes in, just happens to be hanging around. Yeah, of course I'll do it. Oh, no, I'll take the job. Is it possible? Is it feasible that the Democrats could be so evil? They're not stupid. They know Hillary Clinton can't win. They know Joe Biden can't win. They know Bernie Sanders will win. And that is the calculation. Do they want to run Biden because everybody said that Biden can't win, and then they'll lose, and then they'll look like idiots. They already look like idiots, but they'll look like more idiots. Or do they want to switch it out for the golden muumuu, Hillary Clinton, who people are now clamoring for, and then say, oh, well, that's what the people wanted. It's not democracy is the point. It's not a goddamn democracy where people vote in their leaders. This is it's a banana republic, really. So thank you, H.A. Goodman. Good stuff, I guess. So what's going on in the chat, man? What's up? Thank you, Vinny. Don't be a dick and you won't get chopped out. You guys need to vote harder. Yeah, says Barry Atkins. I saw Bernie at a punching bag machine, and he hit the bag, and it hit him back. Ha 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 ha! I saw that. That was an interesting clip. He didn't think much of it. It's very scary that their end goal might be what their end goal might be in this election. Quantum epic. Yeah, I think it's clear that the end goal is to. They don't have a real candidate. They don't have a candidate that stands for anything. Biden actually stands for what the Democratic Party stands for, which is just what we have right now. It's more of the same. So why would you want to switch it out with a dummy, a deadbeat, a dead guy, Joe Biden? And why would you want to switch out Trump when you already have what you need? So again, they don't lose. They just don't want Sanders. That's the point. Nobody wants Hillary. Of course, nobody wants Hillary, but that's okay. No, not nobody. I disagree with that. There's enough. Again, you're watching independent media right now. You're on the internet listening to some guy in his room with long hair, right in between Pellegrino waters. You're not a regular person. If you're here, you're mildly awake to very awake. So you're not unless you focus in. Like I'll give you an example. I was in a restaurant last night in Chinatown, right? And we're sitting there, we're having dim sum, like vegetarian, vegan dim sum in Chinatown on Mulberry Street, right? And there's this older couple sitting next to our crowd, right? They're like one table away, and eavesdrop when it's quiet. You kind of eavesdrop. I always do that. I like to play Friends or Homos when there's two men sitting together and they're sitting there eating with the fucking chopsticks, right? And you say to yourself, are these two men friends? Are they just friends, or are they homos? Right? It's a fucking funny game, right? You got to watch, and you got to watch for the body language to see if they're homos or if they're friends. But the other one is that these two older folks, they were discussing politics, and I heard the older woman say Bernie Sanders. So then they asked me about out of nowhere. The woman asked me about a piece of equipment that was on the table. It was my fucking I don't know what, and I showed it to her, told her what it was, and then I said, oh, by the way, I overheard you guys talking about Bernie Sanders, and it opened up a discussion, right? So long story short, this is a person who voted for Hillary Clinton, who named all the women in the race. I said, well, who do you like in the race? She said, well, I liked Amy Klobuchar and Kamala Harris and Elizabeth Warren. She didn't name a single dude. All women, older women. The older women, all she heard was older women. And I said, well, what about Bernie Sanders? So she said, oh, no, he can't win. He can't win. That's the mainstream media plugging him. So Hillary Clinton gets the woman vote. She gets don't kid yourself that nobody wants Hillary Clinton. Most people, when you say Russiagate, they believe it. Right? They believe Russia hacked the election. We don't believe it because we know it to be not true, but most people do. So, anyway, it was fun to watch. So here's an article from the New York Post: Joe Biden, Bernie Sanders to battle it out again on Super Tuesday 2. It's coming up this Tuesday. Today's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. We're going to see some big states. We're going to see Michigan is the big prize. I'm not going to repeat all the same shit over and over again. Or maybe I will. But anyway, this in the week between Super Tuesday and the coming Super Tuesday 2, the Democrats have flipped the script. Joe Biden is again the front runner, and Bernie Sanders is back in the familiar role as the feisty underdog. There was one piece I wanted to see over here. I forgot what I wanted to say about this. Right now, Joe Biden is in the cat seat, period. GOP Jackoff said. So what that the point I wanted to make is that they're going to have there was a almost an argument, a fist fight over, here it is. Sanders and Biden camp clash over Arizona debate format. This is interesting. This is very interesting, right? Change the rules as you go along, right? Bernie Sanders is best when he's on his feet. His hands are swinging. His mind is expanding. He's aggressive. He's loud. He's loud. He's leaning into the microphone. He's loud. His hands are going this way and that way. And he's pointing, and his mind is sharp, and his tongue is sharp, right? And Joe Biden folds. Joe Biden is just a stupid intellectual. He backs off. He can't remember when the naked vegans attacked the stage and Joe Biden's wife had to defend him. Joe Biden's wife jumped in front of the charging vegan titty lady, throwing milk at Biden, and Biden just like put his hand behind his wife's back. Right? And what a coward! What a shit sandwich, right? So here's the controversy. Bernie Sanders wants to stand up at the next debate, and his campaign is accusing Joe Biden of wanting to sit down. Now that is a big deal. That is a big deal because, for example, I know that people think better on their feet. That's just a fact. That's just a fact, right? I don't when I'm playing music, like even in the subway, I never sit down. Throughout my whole musical game, even recording, you don't sit down because I don't even like sitting down doing this. That's why I tend to be better when I'm walking around in the park. When you're on your feet and you're moving, the motion carries you. This is a lot harder to do. For me, it is. I get sleepy. You get sleepy. You get complacent. You get, I don't know. It's just harder to work on your ass. So Bernie's calling out Joe Biden about that. CNN, after a private call Friday with CNN, again, this is rigging. This is collusion between CNN and Joe Biden, saying, DNC, Joe Biden, how can we help you to fuck over Bernie? How can we make it better for you visually, audibly, and in every other way? How can we make it better for you, establishment? And how can we help you stick the knife in Bernie Sanders' back? We're listening. So we have a suggestion. Let's have everybody sit down, and we'll have the audience, not the professional moderators, ask the question. We'll have the audience ask the questions. Right? And it's really not a debate. We're turning the debate, the head-to-head clash of ideas, into a town hall. So for those of us who are excited about a March 15th debate are likely to get a watered-down, sit-down town hall. After a private call Friday with CNN, which is moderating the March 15th debate with the Democratic National Committee, Sanders' team balked at a new proposed format for debate, saying it gives his opponent, Joe Biden, too much of a break in their first one-on-one face-off. Biden's camp denied that it was pressing for a sit-down debate. He doesn't have to press. Biden doesn't have to press for anything. All he's got to do is signal to the DNC and the pay-for-play CNN, and everything will fall into place. The format for the next debate in Arizona, their first since Biden's blowout Super Tuesday victories, would have the candidates seated for the first time this election cycle and take multiple questions from the audience. In the prior 10 debates, the candidates stood at lectures, and nearly all questions were asked by professional moderators. No, all of them were. I think there was one debate where they had questions from the audience. Questions from the audience prevent a head-to-head between candidates yelling at each other because you got the public in the room. The public is asking a question. You know what I mean? It becomes almost harder to clash if you leave it to the moderators. Do it the way you always done it. Stand up, get on your feet, two podiums, all right, and have the questions go. And don't time it. Let them chop each other up. All right, 5 minutes. 5 minutes each. Right? Let them cut each other up. So why does Joe Biden not want to go toe-to-toe with Senator Sanders on the debate stage March 15th and have an opportunity to defend his record and articulate his vision for the future? Asks Jack Weaver, Sanders' senior advisor. Well, that's a good question. Biden's campaign and DNC said the format for the debate was decided by the party and DNC. And CNN, excuse me. The party and CNN. I told you. The news network declined to comment and referred questions to the DNC. Fucking liars. You see that lie right there? This is Politico reporting. Biden's campaign and the DNC said the format for the debate was decided by the party and CNN. Right? The news network declined to comment, I guess when Politico asked them, and referred the questions back to the DNC. It's just cover-up, shady shit. We will participate in whatever debate CNN chooses to stage, standing, sitting at podiums, or in a town hall. Now, here's the answer for Sanders. What you do, if they say, sit down, town hall style, instead of the classic debate, you reach into your pocket, Bernie. This is what you do. You go down into your pocket, right, and you go like this, and you say, "Here, this is for you," right? You come out with this, and you say, "This is what I think of you," and you walk away. You don't participate in the corruption. You don't participate in the fucking corruption. God damn it. So Sanders' campaign accused accusations. So that's the argument. That's the gist of the argument, right? Sitting down versus standing up. Stand up. Stand up. Even like stockbrokers, right? I remember that as well. It's another story, right? When you're selling stock on the phone, and you got Mr. Jones on that phone, and he's about to buy stock, you're not sitting on your ass, man. You're standing up on the phone because your voice projects louder. It projects louder, right? And you're more, there's just a sense of confidence that comes through in your voice. And it's very hard to get sleepy when you're standing up. It works. So that's the idea here. So because Biden has a lead, alleged lead, the theoretical lead, the cheated lead. So Sanders has more to lose Sanders has to make a game changer, which is, really, really pathetic. So anyway, political circus, says Vadia M. Yes, that's what it is. Corona versus politicians is interesting. Yeah. I think, I have an afterthought about coronavirus. I mean, it is deadly and it is bad, but what better way? Remember, the big picture, the big move covers the little move. You could call, in essence, you could say that the coronavirus is a psyop, is a false flag. I mean, that's a risky thing to say because most people have bought into the idea that it's very contagious and it's here and it's killing people and people are dying. And to call it a false flag would label you a kook and a crazy and a conspiracy theorist and all that shit. It's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that it could be interpreted as that because the big move, coronavirus, covers the little move, which is stealing another election from the people. The ramification of Bernie Sanders losing is way more devastating. Millions of poor people will die because they can't feed themselves and they're cracking their pills in half if Biden wins. And more of the same, and eventually the markets explode. It's the big move covering the little move. Just something to think about while you're watching the hysteria over coronavirus. So that's that. What's going on in the chat, man? What's going on in the chat? What's up, guys? What's up, everybody? Good morning, man. Welcome to Sunday Marcus in the morning, right? This is better than turning on CNN or watching MSNBC lie their asses off, right? I'm not a liar, man. I may get things wrong because I'm a human being, but I shoot from the hip, man. Nobody's paying me. You're paying me. The people in the audience pay me through your PayPal and your, contributions, your Patreon, becoming a member of Patreon. When you buy stickers on my channel off of eBay, that's very helpful. If you go there and buy some stickers, that's how I stay alive, right? I say, oh, I'm going to Nevada, and people open up their wallets, and the generosity is profound, really. I'm humbled by it, really. Because I guess people want the truth, right? I mean, I'm not the perfect vessel, but I certainly am not a paid hack. You're getting my truth by that I read your truth in the comments, and I could see truth and I could see bullshit, and I echo your truth. I'm a mirror. I'm the cosmic mirror. That's all I am. I'm the to coin a phrase, one of my favorite books. I keep it right here, just like the guy who shot John Lennon kept it on his side. Bad analogy, but Catcher in the Rye, that's who I am, man. That's all I ever wanted to be, was just the informant, the whistleblower. The whistleblower on a grand scale to tell you, the walk away from this here video is that your democracy has been stolen from you. All right, whatever side, whatever you call yourself, a Republican, a Democrat, a capitalist, a democratic socialist, a commie, a whatever you call yourself, left wing, right wing, conservative, liberal, ultra liberal, super left, super right, authoritarian left, all those fake titles, they don't mean anything. But the fact is that the takeaway here is that your elections are rigged. That we are living in a time where we tell other nations that we try to sell them, literally, not even sell them anymore, but drop bombs on their head until they succumb to our democracy, our way of life. And the expectation there is that once they realize what democracy is, they're going to love it. And it's just a total farce. The whole political system is a farce. It doesn't represent the people anymore. That's the takeaway, man. I hate to be a Debbie Downer, but that's really what's going on right now. I think that's, maybe that's that's the point of this all. I never said that Sanders wouldn't be cheated. Don't put words in my mouth. Oh, you must be hurt. I'm not hurt that Sanders is losing. I'm hurt that democracy is not working. I don't care if it's Sanders. I don't care if Trump got cheated. I would be just as much on his side. Right? So here's an interesting study. Almost done here. So how long have we been going for? Am I talking too long? We're almost done. So here's an interesting study. If the Democrats still think they're going to beat, the study was done. 12% of people who voted for Bernie Sanders in 2016 Democratic presidential primary, in the 2016 Democratic primary, voted. I'm sorry. I'll start again. 12% of people who voted for Sanders in 2016 voted for Trump in the general election. 12% of Bernies went to Trump. All right? And probably a lot of them went home. This is a hard statistic to gather, but we'll take it as somewhat factual. That is according to the data from Cooperative Congressional Election Studies, CCES. And they surveyed 50,000 people. That's a big field, 50,000. That study was done at Tufts University, who also reported this. In Wisconsin, 9% of Sanders voters voted for Trump. In Michigan, 8% of Sanders voters voted for Trump. In Pennsylvania, 16% of Sanders voters voted for Trump. Whoa! What does that tell you? It tells you that Trump had the message and that Hillary Clinton was corrosive. So in that situation, who would have won? Sanders. Bernie Sanders would have won. Still the same, because in Wisconsin they're gonna cheat. In the numbers on Tuesday, Michigan, they're gonna cheat. They'll probably cancel the exit polls. In Pennsylvania, down the Rust Belt, Ohio, Michigan, Wisconsin, Indiana, Very possible that Minnesota went for Bernie. We know that Massachusetts, based on the exit polls, went for Bernie, outside of the cheating. So those are some interesting facts right there, that the Bernie tried and true in 2016 broke for Trump when cheated. And I would say you'd probably double those numbers this time. Right? You double them because people are more awake. At that time, they had Bernie Sanders saying, "Oh, Hillary Clinton," but nobody believed it. They just did it because they thought Bernie Sanders had, an ace up his sleeve. But if he gets cheated again and throws his weight when he says Joe Biden, vote for Joe Biden, I would say those numbers will double. If 12% in the past went, I would say that'll be 24. There'll be probably 18% in Wisconsin, 16 in Michigan, and a whopping 32% of Bernie voters will break for Trump if Bernie doesn't fight for himself. Simply, if he doesn't take it all the way, right? And there's already evidence that he's not doing it. The evidence is Michigan. I'm sure he's aware that the exit polls didn't match. Here's the evidence, right? How many? Bernie Sanders' camp hasn't seen this evidence that they bumped based on the exit polls. They bumped Biden up 4.5%. And chopped him down 3.5% to have a 8% variance. You don't think the Sanders campaign has seen this? You don't think they should believe it? You don't think that it matters? Exit polls, people who are saying exit polls don't matter, exit polls are extremely accurate. They keep saying there's a 4% margin of error, but it's more like 2%. People tell you who they voted for, especially not just a pop question. If you question them about a lot of things, maybe 10 or 15 or 20 questions, by the end of that, you can determine who they voted for. They don't just come out and tell you. It's a trick. It's a magic trick where you're asking them their opinions over and over and over again, and then through that they tell you who they voted for. That's how it works, right? So it's fairly accurate. It's a fairly accurate. It does depend on who's doing the poll, and in this case, it was CNN that did the poll. The exit polls are an effective tool. So, just to wrap this up, on Tuesday, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton with a penis, is going to compete against Sanders. Iowa 20 votes. 20 delegates. Michigan on the line, 125. Missouri's going to the polls, 37. I'm sorry, Mississippi, 36. Missouri, 68 delegates. North Dakota, 14. And Washington State, the good state of Washington, 89. What else we got here? What else we got? Oh, so this is the count so far. Super delegate count. They're still fudging the numbers. If you look over here, somewhere, they're still fudging the numbers. They still haven't given us all of the. They haven't given us all of the vote from 3 separate states. Here it is. Still holding back 20% of the vote in Colorado, 25% of the vote in Utah. All states that Bernie Sanders won, and still roughly 6.5% of California. So, if we know that Massachusetts, in fact, there was vote flipping, we would also have to assume that they flipped it in California. And with 415 delegates on the line, if you do that math, that would put Bernie Sanders probably over the top. 615 to 513, with still 102 still not awarded. So even if they split that, that's roughly the score right now, 610 to 513. And we don't have accurate numbers. It's impossible. The DNC is going to calculate the state nonsense any way they want. So anyway, that's my take on it. Play this, man. Love this new band. So what's up, man? 100% rig. Jen Kelly. Thank you. What's up, Jen? Pat Hacker. I will never vote Democrat again. I want an aloha party. What's up, Pat Hacker, man? Good to see you in there, man. Glad we're still friends. I know Tulsi. I know it hurts. Tulsi gets ignored. But look, I'm not a sexist, man. I'm watching a chick band right now, man. Los Bichos. They're pretty good. They're not great, but they're pretty good. I like that there's no vocals. I think the bass player is the hottest. She's a little goofy. She looks like female Johnny Ramone. That's a female Johnny Ramone, man. Sterling. Yep, Bernie is my last vote for the demos. It doesn't, if he doesn't get it, it's over. Yeah, I got to agree with that. I got to agree, man. Got to agree. Just a sheep herd now. ZOX. Yeah, 100% rigged. So there you go, man. So Mark's Conte reporting will be. I was at the Lee Camp gathering last night. His book release, which was pretty awesome. I mean, he's a very, very talented stand-up comic. That's a tough gig. That's a tough gig, man. You put just a microphone and a crowd of 100 people. That's a hard thing, and he was quite masterful at it, if you ask me. And he did his book tour. He explained his book and such. I got to do a little interview. I'll put the video up soon. I'm going to cut it together because it's kind of weird. I got yelled at for pulling out a camera. I didn't have credentials, like I never do. Like, 'cause I don't bother looking into it before I get there. I just show up and And I also got Ben Norton from the Gray Zone was hanging out there. I think Aaron Matei was there, but I didn't see him. I didn't get to confront him, ambush him with a question. So I got those guys on record asking him basically Bernie questions and shit. So stand by for that. So let Los Lobos take you out. Los Bichos, excuse me. Have a good Sunday, everybody.